All right, guys, welcome back. So we're gonna be going over entry models. We only got two main entry models, and these two are only for the confirmation approach, right? So approach number two, right? This is still only for approach number two. Approach number one does not have models. That's a direct entry. This is confirmation entry approach number two, okay? So the two models that we have is we got a POI right here. Let me put it up here. POI up here. All right. And then we're going to get a Quasimodo, run liquidity, break structure. Okay. Price is going to retrace and then break structure once again. And then it's going to take out that high. It's going to come into a point of interest in here. And then price will continue down. Take out that low, right? Now, what is this? Now, this model normally happens when there's no internal liquidity here, right? When there's no internal liquidity or obvious liquidity there, this is what you get, all right? Not always, but most of the time. And even if there's internal liquidity, this still happens, but I've seen it happen when there's rarely any liquidity here, they build the inducement. This is the inducement right there. So price breaks structure, retraces, breaks structure once again, we short above that, all right? And vice versa for the buy scenario, same thing, okay? Now, let's dive into the logic here. So imagine if you were only trading structure, then you would see this as your new high and your low. You would look for a short here to the downside. So there's a lot of liquidity sitting right here, just above that. And not only that, trend line, anticipation of a trend line. So you are literally shorting where liquidity is at, so you become the liquidity. So what we're going to do, we're going to short above that. Just like that, right? This is model one. Model one. All right, now let's go into model two. All right, model two would be liquidity and break structure, right? This low right here is going to go up, and then its high is going to fail to take out this low right here. And if that high fails, as we know, failure swing, weak high, it's going to get taken. And that becomes inducement. Okay. And then comes to the POI. Then we drop down. What does it form in the bottom? Trend line liquidity equal lows, right? And then what do we see on the top? Same thing, right? Do not short or buy into liquidity, right? Don't be the liquidity, do the opposite. And then price, right below, right? Now, like I said, this one, I've seen it happen quite a few times when there's either no internal liquidity or rarely any internal liquidity, right? And by rare, I mean like obvious, like you can obviously see the liquidity, like those highs right there, right? That's probably what I mean by obvious. This happens because it needs to build liquidity. It has to build it up. So it has to induce people in order, for it to give it a reason to come up here. This one normally has liquidity, has internal liquidity inside. So it'll make the inducement and have the internal liquidity right in there.